Hello students, I am back with the YouTube online classes. Uh, Syllabus is exceeding and we have less time. So that's why I started few chapters through this YouTube also, and few chapters are running virtually also, as we have decided in the class. So this is again with class 9th it is, and which is presented by me, Sangeeta Puri ma'am. And here I am having the chapter today is the unit 6th chapter. It is weathering the storm in Erasma. Erasma is a place in Odisha which was affected or devastated by the storm which came in 1999, and what kind of situation the people dealt in that. This has all been described through this chapter, which is written by Harsh Mender. So let's have a look without wasting time. Let's start the chapter. Uh, that's the first part of the chapter, first page. Weathering the storm in Erasma. Weathering, what kind of weathering? Like a storm created by, or the stormy weather, you can say, in Erasma. Let's have a look paragraph wise. The cyclone that hit Odisha in October 1999 killed thousands of people and devastated hundreds of villages. Cyclone, it's related to wind, related to rain, related to everything. That's known to be a natural calamity, that is known to be cyclone, which hit Odisha. And it's not that only this 1999, Odisha is very prone of that kind of storms most of the time. But basically in this chapter we are discussing the cyclone which hit Odisha in October 1999, which has killed thousands of people and devastated hundreds of villages. Devastated, spoiled, destroyed many villages also. For two dreadful nights, Prashant, a young man, was marooned on the roof. Marooned simply here stands for that a person who is saving his life by climbing somewhere to somewhere else. That's known to be marooned. So, a boy is there whose name is Prashant, and how he has been left like two dreadful night. He was marooned on the roof. Marooned means he was left alone. He was not able to know the family, where the family went away, whether dead or alive or whatsoever, but he was alone, kept or caught in the situation, because downwards water and water is there, so he can't go anywhere else. So due to which he was marooned on the roof of a house, and the third day he decided to go to his village, and whether he found his family or not, the chapter is all about. So let's begin the first para. On 27th October 1999, students please underline the date. 7 years after his mother's death, Prashant, means mother was died before this, 7 years after his mother's death, Prashant had gone to the block headquarters of Erasma, a small town in coastal Orissa. It's a name of a town. Actually, Erasma is the name of a town which is in the coastal Orissa, and some 18 kilometers from his village, which is at least 18 kilometers far from his village. So he went there, uh, and for what he went there? To spend the day with a friend. Simply that was the situation, and he was unaware what will happen with him. So with his friend, he just his mother was died, and he left for Erasma, which is a small town in the coastal Orissa, and which is 18 kilometers away from his own village. And why he went? Because he wanted to spend a day with his friend. And in the evening, a dark and menacing storm. Students, menacing here stand for which is very much harmful and which is quite very much devastating and dangerous. A storm has come up, and that was not like earlier they came to know about it, or they could have a planning what they can do, but it came quickly, and the storm was very much dark and menacing, very much harmful. What has happened, due to which wind beat against the houses with a speed and fury that Prashant had never witnessed before. Fury, the sound, the horrible sound which is created by the flow of wind, that's known to be fury, hue and cry, you can say. The storm was very speedy, because the wind was very speedy, which was hitting against the walls, the trees of the houses, or something to something else. So that kind of a very horrible sound during the time of cyclone which was created, and Prashant was the first time he witnessed it, because before that he never experienced that kind of storm. Heavy and incessant rain which is continuously flowing. Heavy means the rain was quite very heavy, and incessant means which is not stopping, continuous rain that filled the darkness. Ancient trees, ancient means the old trees which has been which has been planted before many years. Even those trees, that a picture is there, you can see that is Prashant is there, who is just trying to hold himself on the roof of a house, and just have a look on how that storm is affecting them. Let's having a continuation. That is, ancient trees were uprooted and crashed to the earth. Means ancient trees, you just imagine how deep the root can be of those ancient trees. Those ancient trees were also crashed, broken by that cyclone, and thrown on the earth. Screams rent the air as people and houses were swiftly washed away. Screaming means crying with pain, shouting, weeping, wailing, that's known to be screams. डर के मारे चीखना जिसे कहते हैं, वो पूरे जगह, मतलब इट्स एंटायर एयर और एंटायर पीपल, ऑल द पीपल, सारे घरों से, सब जगह से इसी तरह की चीखने चिल्लाने की आवाज़ आ रही थी. एंड हाउसेज वर स्विफ्टली वॉश्ड अवे, और उस पानी से, ड्यू टू दैट वाटर, एंटायर हाउस वाज वॉश्ड अवे. Means washed away doesn't mean that it's been cleaned up. Here means the building of the house has been washed away. The angry water swirled into his friend's house, and obviously his friend's house was also not saved. So the angry water, because the water was very in a very huge flow, so it swirled away. Swirled away means washed away his friend's house also. Neck deep means up to neck. Up to neck means the house neck was filled up with the water. So the building was of a brick and mortar, and the building was there. That building was make of a very means hard brick and mortar, which is made by the people who just having a look that the hard bricks and the mortar is a, material of the house. Means the house was not very much wobbly or very much old or something like that, but house was made of very strong materials of bricks and mortar. Even then also it was filled with the storm, and was strong enough to survive the devastation of the wind's velocity of 350. Underline the velocity, the speed of the wind, 350 kilometer per hour. Means because the house was built of bricks and mortar, that is why the house could survive in such of destruction, and the destruction which was made by the wind up to the velocity of 350 kilometer per hour. So you can imagine how dangerous the storm can be. But the cold terror of the family grew with the crashing of trees and had got uprooted and fallen on their house. Means wind can't have any effect on that, but due to the same wind, when the old trees were fallen, and those trees were fallen on the house, that created a lot of risk or danger of their house and of their life also. Sometime in the middle of the night, damaging its roof and walls, and middle of the night or in between, because 2 nights continuously Prashant spent there, so it was falling in either in the middle or at the wall of the house, so that creating a lot of problem. I hope you are getting. The crazed destruction wrought by the cyclone and the surge of the ocean. A crazed destruction basically stands for very means madness. The destruction, like just like a mad person, the storm is creating a destruction which is wrought out, which is created by the cyclone. And surge, like that was just like surge of the ocean. Surge means the powerful movement, very much strongly the ocean is moving, continued for the next 36 hours. I just note down, next 36 hours continuously underline. Although wind speeds had reduced somewhat by the next morning. Means the first morning was very horrible, but next morning the speed was a bit reduced, but the storm was still on. To escape the waters rising in the house, Prashant and his family had taken refuge on the roof, and because the water was rising continuously, so to escape, to rid out, or to just help themselves to be safe or to be alive, they went to the roof. To escape means bachna. पानी से बचने के लिए. They went to the upstairs, family of his friend and he himself. Prashant will never forget the shock he experienced at the first glimpses of the devastation wrought out by the super cyclone. And he can't forget this dangerous, horrible sight, because that was his first experience, the first glimpses, the first sight he saw of the destruction which was created by the super cyclone in the grey light of the early morning, like early in the morning, when he saw that how the things are destroyed. So that made him quite unforgettable moment, or very dangerous moment, which he never experienced before. A ragging deadly bronze sheets of water. Ragging deadly means continuously the things which has been dead. What the means, what kind of destruction which was created by the storm next morning when the weather was a bit clear, or when they would be able to see. So what they saw, that made him quite mad. What they have saw, the rigging deadly brown sheet of water covered everything as far as the eye could see. The brown water, because the water brought with him the stormy water brought with the mountain bricks and all that with them, due to which and the sand too, which made the water quite brown. So that water was spreaded, deadly water, ragging water, angry water, brown sheet of water has been covered everything wheresoever they could see far as far. Only fractured cement houses and the cracks came up on the houses still stood in few places. Then moreover, apart from that, blotted animals carcasses, the dead bodies of the animals, bloating animals were there, or human crops. Moreover, the dead bodies of humans can also be floated, can be seen in every direction. All round, even huge old trees had fallen, and everywhere huge trees had also fallen, that can be seen. Means the dead bodies of animals, human beings, all could be found. Two coconut trees had fallen on the roof of their house. This was a blessing in the disguise, because of the tender coconuts from the trees kept the trapped family from starving in the several days that followed. And that is in such a hue and cry situation. Coconut trees which has fallen on the house, those coconuts helped them to keep themselves away from starving, from hunger. They could eat that, the family could eat that several days, which has followed. So it's a good thing, but it created a lot of destructions also. So students, in this uh, video, this much only. In the next video I'll continue the remaining part of the chapter. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. Bye bye everyone.